Hey everybody, it's Michael DeSilvis from DeSilvis' Media. Just getting used to this new lollipop version of software. It's kind of hard to. The record button's down below. That's good because it used to be up in the right hand corner. Um, but I wanted to say something to you all. A lot of things have happened. In France, in the Alps, in the mountains there, a plane crashed and 159 people were killed about 2 days ago. It doesn't look like to be terrorism, but the investigation is not fully concluded yet either. From a lot of things that say from the Times and from the Tribune and of course the jet line went down in the mountains and a girl was killed here that lived in Chesterfield, and she will surely be missed. And please pray for all the families from all around the world during this time. She was an intelligence specialist that worked for the government here, and I know her, so just pray for her. And she was a Christian, and she did a lot of good work for aeration. That's all I can really say. But just pray for her during this time, and pray for her family, and also pray for Alex Jones, and pray for all the people out here like us that are doing the good work, the fight to get the news out to you, to tell the truth, and that our government will come to its senses and realize what they're doing is wrong, it's suicide, and it's illegal. And that way they can stop this stuff before it gets out of hand. Because one thing we don't want is we don't want a civil war to break out in this country. But a lot of people do want to go that route. But we don't want to go that route. So we want to try to work this out. And, it should be where we should be fighting against the police, because that's what they want us to say. The police are doing this. And then the same elitist people are telling the police that us patriots are the enemy and that we need to be taken out and arrested. When yet we're the Americans. Patriots are really Americans who are constitutionalists. That's what a patriot is by definition. It's not the old definition. It's what it really meant when America was formed. And that's what it means to most people today who are real true Americans. They're patriots. Policemen are patriots too. They take the Hippocratic oath when they're sworn into office upon becoming a police officer in any legality. And they quote that part of that oath, that they come to sworn to protect and to serve. And when you're, doing these things to people, slamming them down, especially that thing that happened to the guy downtown, the Irish district in Richmond, the one that was slammed down, he was unjustly abused. He was not drunk. It turns out to be somebody lied about that. Said other people that saw him. This was happening in Richmond in the Irish district. They said that he was drunk and intoxicated, but other people that were with him, his friends, said he was not. So I don't know what the story is about that. Somebody's lying. I don't know if the cops are in this case, because it could be bad cops, or if somebody's lying like his friends are lying. But I'm sure that'll all be sorted out. If it isn't, God will sort it out one day in judgment, and the answer and the verdict will be final and be resolute, quick. So another thing, they're starting to pull money and pensions on people like we feared. They're starting to do that with a Tea Party, with some veterans and some elderly people. They're taking pensions away and even their checks away. If you have anything retired, we're going to explain. There's been a lot of new laws have gone into effect. We can't go through them all, but we're going to give you some highlights to re-educate you, hopefully, so you can not be stopped by the cops or have yourself be robbed by a cop by seizing your money by coming up with frivolous charges because you took money out of the bank, which last time I saw is not a crime to take any amount out. But according to the new laws, if you take out more than $5,000 in one time or put in more than $5,000 at one time, you get put on one of these lists of suspicion. And what happens is if you leave with $5,000, meaning you withdraw it out of your account, which it's your money, it's legal, supposed to be, some cops will come and stop you and say you committed money laundering, or you were doing prostitution or drugs, and they'll seize your money and say it's a seizure of your money, even though you didn't do that. You're not a criminal. But there's people this is happening to all across America. I don't know of any cases of that happening here in Hanover County. We have a lot of good cops here for the most part. I don't think they would do that. I know a lot of them that would stand right by you and not allow people to shoot at you or take your guns, and they said they would not take our guns. When I talked to them about a year or so ago, that's what they said. But a lot of people have been fired since then, so I don't know if it's still the same. I hope to God, for the most part, it is. But that's what they said about a year or so ago when I talked to a deputy in a car as he was patrolling through our neighborhood. And that's what he told me, what his view was on it. And he was a patriot too, and he loves America and he cares about his fellow citizens. And I'm not going to give you his badge or anything, but he's a good guy. And I know a lot of them. I went to school with a lot of them, and I grew up with them. So if that gives you any benefit of doubt, I know he's a good seat. He's still working for the Hanover County. He's a detective, and very good guy. And we work together sometimes on some things. But the thing is, set aside all that, it's just there are bad cops out there all around in all the states, just like there are bad people that work for you, and they're good people, mostly are good, just like the cops are good. But we shouldn't be going around like the Black Panthers were doing last week, going oink, oink, we need to shoot a cop, we need to blow them a pig away. We should not be doing that because that's just inciting violence, and that's just ridiculous. Pink Panthers have always been famous for doing things of stupidity, just trying to incite violence among the blacks and amongst the whites in interracial problems. They've always done that. They've had a history record of that. And anyone that's educated knows this on both sides of this paradigm when it comes to looking at it. And the thing is, we need to remember is that we are all in this together. If there is a collapse, we all need to work together to come to each other's aid, no matter what level income we have, whether we're rich, whether we consider ourselves the elitist middle class or poor. We all need to look out for each other, need to be looking out for our neighbors and look out for those who are less fortunate. We need to be more giving and more givers and stewards and, learn to share what we have, because we're all going to need each other if things do go crazy, which we're getting ready to go in some crazy times. This country is majorly escalating. We see this happening with how mortgage is going under. Unemployment continues to rise all across America at a major rate. We see many jobs that are being shut down because of these forfeiture, false charges, as people depositing too much money because they're putting cash in. Oh, it's a crime if you have cash at your house in a safe. You can go to jail for that. And they are going around, some cops, not all cops. Most cops aren't doing this, but some places they are. And if they find out you have money in your safe or in your house, they will arrest you because you have money, because it's illegal to have it. It's illegal to put it in the bank if it's too much. It's illegal to keep too much in your house. It's getting crazy. That's how it was in Europe when this stuff happened before they got crazy. We have tyranny. We're going into tyranny, right, folks? And it's bad because nobody is realizing it. A lot of people are tuned out of it. They don't want to hear it. They think if they just put their head in the sand and hightail and run, it'll just go away, or ignore it by going to video games or playing football. It'll just go away. And it's not going to go away unless we do something about it. And how we do something about it is we grab it by the balls. And, we grab it by the roots and we say, look, as Americans, we're not going to put up with this mess anymore. We want to be free. We got to stand up as an active body, and we got to do it with due process, with peaceful resolutions and peaceful protests. That's not fighting. I didn't say nothing about violence. I didn't say nothing about inciting violence. No, I didn't say any of the sort. I want to make that abundantly clear, folks. Because what happened in Ferguson was absolutely the wrong thing that happened with people and blacks and people in general, where cops went way overboard. There's a lot of other examples I could give you. And we need to learn from that so we don't have a major war or have soldiers on our streets. We have 10 states that have reported today that there are soldiers on the streets. There are tanks not tanks, but there are like soldiers driving around in Jeeps and Humvees. And there's soldiers on the streets in 10 states in the United States right now. That have taken over cities. They're not doing no exercise or drill. They're actually getting the people conditioned to get used to this. Meaning the cops aren't going to do their job, so the soldiers are coming in to take over, to do the stuff that most cops won't do. That's why they're being pulled in, because most cops won't take things from people, like take guns from people, when they're law-abiding citizens, because they believe in that. So they send the soldiers in to do the work. But there's a lot of soldiers that aren't going to do that either, I hate to tell you, even if they're in a battalion and they're ordered to do it. Most of them won't do it either because they know what's happening here is suicidal, and it's going to cause a war. And we don't want a war. So what we need to do is get to know our Army officials, get to know where they stand in your area, and talk to them and educate them about these things because they know more about things that are going on way more than we do, probably more so than the cops do. And the cops know a lot more than what we know. But the thing is, I know a lot because I have buddies that are in this stuff. And, Alex Jones, and he's a buddy of mine, affiliate. And we're all in this together. We all need to help each other out, give financially to help each other out. We need to support one another, lift each other up. I am an independent media broadcaster as well as a preacher. And I have a church called New Hunter Church of Christ in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And it's not my church, it's God's church. It's just like this media is God's media. And we need donations just like when you go to your church and you give a donation, and a tithe is a donation. Well, we need it too. We're a for-profit organization, unlike your 503c churches, which is not bad. They are not profited. But either way, you can take donations, whether for-profit or non-profit, because we have to pay taxes on those donations, just like non-profit CO3s do. 503Cs and 504Cs, 504 and 503C organizations. The difference is 503C is for churches, and 504C is for government fundraiser organizations. So when you look at the language, a lot of it looks similar, but a lot of it is not. So you have to look at the laws and how they're written, because they're definitely different, and what you can do with the different types of exemptions there, tax exemptions, have different stipulations. And when you have a church that works, that meets out of business, we have a little bit more freedom than, say, you 503c churches do. And we do, because we pay taxes. We probably pay a little more than you do, because it's filed in along with the business, and that's how it's usually done. But I wanted to say, folks, pray for me as a preacher. Pray if you want to help us out. Go to logos.com. That's logos.com. And you can call the 1-800 number, which I'm going to give to you here momentarily. And there you can give them my name, Michael DeSilvis. It's MikelDes like silver, ILV like Victor, then IS. And Michael's just Mikel. I think I said that twice. Yeah, I probably did. My email address is Michael. It's all lowercase. It's MikelBTMN71@gmail.com. You give them that. Say, hey, I'd like to make a one-time gift to that account. When you call the accounts department, give them all that information. Say, I'd like to make a gift for Michael DeSilvis, and give them my email, michaelbatman71@gmail.com. And then tell them how much you want to give. Say if it's a monthly, or if it's a one-time gift of, whatever you choose to give, whatever you feel moved to do. We're listener supported. And speaking about listener support, I want to thank you, along with Journey. Thank you for helping them reach their goal, more than reach their goal today. All week long, they've been raising money so they could finance it for the whole year. Thank you for everybody that did that in the Richmond and Mechanicsville area. We don't get no money from that. However, we do work with Journey because I'm alumni. I'm a school person that actually helps with that. And we want to thank you in advance for all your generosity. And you can still give at that number, the 1-800 number, 424-9495 number, even after the marathon is over. And you can give whatever you feel to give still at this time. But anyway, if you want to give to Logos, I don't know why my computer is not pulling my stuff up here. I'm like wondering, maybe I should put it on. I'm wondering if I should put it on a thing. But anyway, I think I gave the number in the other podcast because I'm having trouble with this, and I don't have time to pause it. But anyway, I just want to thank you in advance for helping Liberty out and Journey. And if you want to give scholarships too, go on their website at libertyuniversity.com. Find out more about that. because they need help with scholarships too. If you want to give the help so a student can have more funner, that's double negative. Sorry, I should know better because I'm a writer. Can have a more affordable, there you go, experience at Liberty by you donating scholarship money, seed money, so they can be able to have a break on their tuition. And I know when I was a music major and I was working with the Spirit of the Mountain Band back in 96 through 98, that definitely came in handy. That was like a couple $1,000 scholarship, which really paid about almost a fourth of my tuition. And it really was a blessing indeed. And I appreciate that from the music department and from Liberty University that they were able to give that to me when I was a student there at Liberty University, which was a blessing, to say the least. And, they have other scholarships there for other majors. So when you go there as students, you need to find out about what scholarships they have so you can take advantage of those. It's always good to do good on your SAT or your ACT or ACT test. The higher the score, the better, and the more scholarships you get. So look into that. Some of the stuff may have changed since I've gone to school, because it probably has, because everything does. Some things change, even though a lot of things still stay and remain the same. Like the Bible, it never changes. How we may present it might change, but the message is always the same. So this is not working for me, so you're going to have to just type in logos.com and their numbers in the upper right-hand corner on their homepage. If you want to donate that way, just donate there. Or you can call me up at 804-789-9373 or 804-399-8244. And you can say, hey, Evangelist Michael DeSilvis, I want to make a donation. I'm going to send it to you by by snail mail. And our address, if you want to do that, is New Hunter Church of Christ. And then underneath it is 7110 New Hunter Road, apartment 423, Mechanicsville, Virginia, 23111. And on there, you can just put DeSilvis' media on the order of, or you can put Michael DeSilvis on there. Of course, it won't personally go to me. It's just the way that the bank will accept it if you write a check. And in the memo, you can say what it's for, and that's what it will be used for. It won't just go to my personal expense account, no. But it will go for the need of what we have. We need a new computer system. We need to have a $950-some bill here for battery, 2 batteries in a new unit, because we had it go bad, shooting electricity out the back of it. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Unplug that. Everything I tried and tested, seems like everything there is working. So it looks like the equipment is fine. So I don't have to use the insurance on it, which is good. But if you want to give that way, just call me up and send it at that address. And you can call me up at 804, like I said, 789-9373 or 804-399-8244, and you can talk to me. If you want to come here for our morning service, our midday service, at 12:30 to 1:30 on Sunday, and 7 o'clock to 8 p.m., 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. on our Sunday night, and Thursday night week service will be at 7 to 8 p.m. You're welcome to come to those times. Just call for directions ahead. If you're passing through the area and you say you want to come to a small church, we'd love to have you. It's open to the community here as well as outside of the community of Harbor Square. Anybody's welcome to come. Doesn't matter what color you are, you're black or white. We're all precious in His sight, and you're precious in my sight too. So you're welcome to be in here to worship with us. We'd love to have you. And of course, think about these things and be in prayer and search your mind before you give. Always ask yourself, what can I do? How can I feel like I belong? You can help by giving to DeSilvis Media. Try our services. Try our products. They're really good products. They're not junk. Like somebody wrote about the air duster, blow-off duster. It's not junk. It really does work, and it really does keep things clean. That guy who wrote those comments was either a troll or he's somebody that's never really tried the product, and he's just mad at the world, and he just wants to say some horrible things. I think it was a troll freak is what I think. So I didn't really comment to it because, it's probably just a robot, some just trying to create problems so it'll hurt my business. But I don't really respond to that because I don't sell junk. I sell good products, and I sell things that change people's lives. And one thing I'm mostly concerned about is your soul. That's the most important thing, and asset other than all these things that I do and offer for services and preaching. It's getting you to heaven. That's the main goal for me. And of course, all this other stuff helps too, but the main concern is your soul. Where you stand with Christ is the main concern that I have. And that's the only concern that I have for you. But yet everything I do is to the best ability and to the best professionalism and with the best attitude that's possible, like Christ would have, to serve you and to serve your needs. If I'm capable. And I haven't had any needs where I haven't had any situation where I couldn't do something yet. So if that gives you any indication of my track record, that ought to tell you I can just about anything, if it's electronic or computerized. Bring it to our shop, or we can come to you. We have rates. You have to call me. I'm not going to go over those now. You just call me up and I'll tell you. The numbers I gave you, 804 789 9373 or 804 399 8244, and I'll tell you. Send donation. You can send a check in the mail. Just put a paper around it, or cash. You can put a wrapper around it or paper around it so it looks like just a letter. Or you can bring it on by our place here at DeSilvis Media. We're open from 9 to 9, Monday through Saturday. And we're here to help you and to serve all your needs. Thank you for those who do help us out. Subscribe down below. You can watch for free, subscribe for free, but please donate. We ask that in caps because we really need it. We have a lot of things that need to be fixed, and I gave you a lot of ways on how to help. And please be in prayer for your church, be in prayer for the leaders, be in prayer for me, be in prayer as a preacher to keep me safe, help that our money stays in the bank account, how that we don't have no problems with the IRS, and that none of you all do either, and that I think they're only going after big people, ones that have a lot of money. That's what it seems like it's mostly happening to. And I wish they weren't going after anybody, because they shouldn't be doing this. This is a crime, it's illegal, and it needs to be exposed and expunged or stopped. Because you don't take money that belongs to people, that's innocent money, and then come up with these fraudulent, baloney charges. And that's what the government is doing. Because they need money. They have money, but they want to take your money. Because they're in so much debt. That's why they're doing it. Because we're in so much debt that they don't have no money, so they got to steal other money to make up for the money, because they don't have no money, because they're bankrupt. So that's why this is going on. And that's a sign that you know that your country is just a stone throw away from collapse. When you see cops doing this stuff, and government officials, feds too, doing it, Secret Service agents, FBI, you name it, whoever's doing it, the bad people. Not all FBI people are doing this, but certain ones. Not all cops or government or Secret Service are doing this, but some of them are. They're taking power to their head. You know, it's going to the wrong head. And they're using the law as an advantage to extort money from people and to ruin people's lives and businesses. And it's wrong. It needs to be stopped. And it's a crime. And these people need to be brought up on charges. So that's what I have to say to that. Another thing, rent, they want to increase here for $7 for rent. That's not a lot of money, but a lot of people are a little mad about that here in the Harbor Square community. So be praying for that HUD doesn't push that through. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people are paying a lot more in electricity, are paying a lot more in food here. And they're paying a lot more in everything that they use, including their cell phone. Everything has gone up. And yeah, we got a $20-some raise. Some of us got more than that, but that's what I got. And it's not really a raise, because all this increase that went up with the groceries and everything took it all. And now they want us to pay $7 more. And some people might be paying $19 more. And the 2 bedrooms are going to be paying $55 more. So this is a standard memo that the apartment complex here has put together. And if it goes through, it won't go in effect till July 1st. So we have a couple months yet. So the rent will go up for us about $7. And that don't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when you don't have a lot. And every penny counts, whether it comes in from a donation or whether it comes in, from work, or it comes in by the check. However it comes in, it all is counted and measured to go towards expenses. Even when people donate to like Logos, when they donate and send me a gift to help pay me or to help buy the new things that I need, a new computer, a new storage NAS that we've been asking for months, and the new battery and the new unit we need for the credit card and the other things in the other room that went bad. These things do happen. Thunderstorms will be here tomorrow night, today, tonight, early morning hours. That's why I say tomorrow night. We'll get near 80 degrees today. The temperatures will rapidly rise, probably by the low 60s to middle 60s by 9 a.m. And they'll continue to rise with the winds as they come up out of the southwest. A storm that went through Tulsa, Oklahoma, killed one person and maybe one fatality so far to report, and there probably are some injuries. But there has been some damage there, so please be with the families out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My prayers and thoughts go out to you. I know you just had a horrific time last summer with these tornadoes, and now you're getting hit again so early in the season. This could be a sign that it could be more worse to come. I hope not. But sometimes they say that. I hope not, for your sake. Hopefully the storms will, not storms, but the tornadoes will bypass you, even though you'll still get the rain you get. But hopefully it won't be flooding rains. And be with the flooding situation that's coming from Massachusetts all the way down to Indiana, with the rivers that are overflowing because of all the ice melt and all the record number of snow that we got. A matter of fact, the Climate Geological Survey said that we had one of the warmest winters on record, which I think they're smoking some because it wasn't warm. It was actually a normal winter for us. So I don't know where their data is saying it was a warm winter, but they were definitely wrong about that. I don't know who did that test. I think they need to redo the test and get a second opinion or a third opinion because they're definitely wrong. They say that's what it said, that we had one of the warmest winters on record this year. I think they're smoking something because it wasn't warm. It felt like a normal winter. It has been warmer other years here, but this is normally what we have in Virginia when it's a normal winter. We just haven't had it for more than a decade. And some people freaked out and said, oh, it's too cold, it's too cold. But, yeah, well, that's a normal. That's what normal is supposed to get when we have a normal winter. But so people freaking out, as usual, it's nothing unusual here in Virginia when that happens. People do freak out, so because they're not used to having that kind of weather. So be with us, and please pray for us, and keep us on your prayers, and please donate. I can't stress that anymore. Thanks a lot, and please pray for our country, and pray for the president. Pray for our government officials, that people that are doing the right thing, that they'll continue to do the right thing, and stop those who are doing the bad things, and report those who are doing the bad things, and get them out of there so that good people will remain. And more people are getting fired who are trying to do the right thing, but don't let that be a turnoff. You do the right thing, and you stand up for your country. And you don't try to let them know that you're doing the right thing, but when things get bad, you need to stand up for it and not allow these things to come to pass. And I salute all of you who are doing that. Another thing that outrages me is that all the veterans are not getting the medical procedures that they need that could save their lives. And regular people aren't either. They're being denied it too, even when you go, regular civilians are at the hospitals all across the many hospitals across America. Their insurance isn't covering it either. It's not just the veterans, Alex Jones. It's also, like you and me, regular people who have insurance aren't being covered either because they go through the same kind of bureaucratic nonsense similar to what the veterans go through. But of course, we have a better chance of being served, getting things done more so than the veterans do. They're the worst treated people on the earth when they should be treated really good just like we are. They should get the same type of care we get, and they should, or even better, because they fought for our country. There are a lot of them that died for our country, but the ones that are alive, we should look out for them. We should look after the orphan. We should look after the people that are disabled, that can't work for themselves. They're not able to provide for themselves. That's why Social Security was instituted. We should remember that and not allow people to come in and take our money, because people out here, most of us are the ones that are supporting the economy, and if they do that, it's going to really hurt the economy, because a lot of poor and middle class people are the ones that are actually supporting this economy. It's not so much the elite, because the elite are hoarding everything. And they're not really doing much right now. They're just trying to make as much money as they can and extort and power grab everything. And they're trying to create racial wars between everybody and trying to create violence between the police and citizens. And that's not because of false rumors and propaganda. instead of telling the truth, because they're trying to create a war in this country, which is what we don't want. And I hope we don't get it, because it's the last resort, but hopefully it won't succumb to that. Just be in prayer, peace, and I'll see you all later. Bye for now. It's Michael DeSilvis in the news segment. Thanks for helping out.